Warning. This video contains spoilers for the new games Pokémon X and Y on Nintendo 3DS. If you've not yet reached the point in the game that this video covers, proceed at your own risk. Pokémon rules. Alright, hey everybody, welcome to yet another X and Y vlog. This is vlog number 4 now. I'm Alex.
I'm Kelly, and that's Little Carrot.
Little Carrot.
Little Cat Derek.
Last time we left off at the at Ambrette Town.
Ambrette Town, yeah. We finished getting our fossil Pokemon. I chose Amara, you chose Tyrant. And Amara is now one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. She's beautiful and wonderful, and I love her. She's my favorite. So it's time to leave Ambrette Town and move on to the road to the next gym. Yeah.
A cool thing about Ambrette Town is that it's kind of like up and down.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like got like a staircase in the middle that's like inside of a giant aquarium, which is really cool. There's not really a lot to do in the aquarium.
There's a giant statue of a Magikarp, like a golden Magikarp.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Huge. That's pretty neat. I think if you look at like the exhibits, it's just like, oh, fish. You know what? I don't know if it's fish or Pokemon that are in the aquarium. I'll have to recheck that.
Yeah, we'll have to look.
An interesting,
I don't think that it's like
dilemma.
I don't think that it's like obviously a certain Pokemon.
No.
I don't think it's like a bunch of Magikarp.
Anyway, it's a cute little aquarium. You go downstairs in the aquarium and you go out into the beach route.
Yeah, and it's cool because it kind of replicates that sort of like other kind of beach that there is, where there's like a cliff and then water.
Yeah, a cliff. There's the cliff. There's the beach and the water, and there's lots of rocks. And it's a place where you think you'd see a lot of tide pools. And speaking of tide pools, there's some cool new Pokemon on this route. You can both.
So if you have X, you get Clauncher, who's like he's like a little blue like shrimp. I think he's probably based off like a pistol shrimp or.
Yeah, actually, I do think that's correct.
Yeah, like something like that.
His Pokedex entries say that
he's like a mix between a shrimp and Mega Man. Like he's got like a little. He's got like one big claw and it's like a blaster.
And then the Y exclusive is Skrelp, which is the weedy sea dragon.
The weedy sea dragon. He's like a seahorse.
Yeah, he's like a seahorse, but he's based off of the weedy sea dragon, which is a real creature in the world. And he's poison, well, at least his final evolution is poison dragon.
Yeah, Dragalge is really cool. And then Clauncher evolves into Clawitzer, who's another really cool Pokemon. He's just like a big shrimp with a big gun. It's like Claw and Howitzer, which is a cannon. And he has a really cool ability, which makes I forget what moves it is, but it's like I think it's pulse moves.
Okay.
It like adds to the power of them because he has like a big cannon.
Cool.
And so he's like kind of got like a neat little mechanic built into it.
Cool, I'm down.
Another thing that you get along this route is the dowsing machine.
Did you have a lot of trouble with it when you first did it?
I didn't really understand it at first because I was trying to use it like the thing in X and Y.
Well,
in black and white.
When the lady explained it, she was like, oh, as you get closer to the item, the color changes and then the beams cross. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so I kept walking and then my beams got farther and farther away and I was like, oh, I must be going the wrong way, which actually means that you're going the right way.
It doesn't cross until the very last.
It's like forward and then you get closer to the item and they like start getting farther away and then you're on like right on the item and it crosses.
And they just immediately cross.
And so that was confusing.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
I was trying to use it like the one in black and white. It is not like that. That one is probably better, but now that I know how to use this one, there's no difference.
Yeah.
It's just like a weird thing. And I like that there's a dowsing machine. I'm not exactly sure why there's a dowsing machine in Pokemon at all. It seems like a very weird...
Yeah, it's like a strange little addition.
It's like a pagan like ritual, right? Or like a pagan tradition.
The water finding?
Yeah, dowsing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's cool. You can find items with it.
Also on this route is Binnacles in the Rock Smash.
Oh yeah.
Rocks, which is a weird little.
He looks really weird. I really like him though. I think he's like a neat Pokemon, and his Barbaracle, his evolution is like really cool. I think he might be like OU. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't looked at his stats too much.
I don't like him. I think he's weird.
Why?
He's like super gross looking.
Because of his weird face.
He's super gross looking.
He looks cool. He's got like he looks like a Ninja Turtles villain.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know. I like him. Anyway, you get to Silage City.
Silage City.
Silage City.
It's like cycling.
Cycling City. Silage cycle. Cycles.
Silage.
I'm
gonna say silage.
You guys like Psy from the YouTubes? Anyway.
What?
Yeah.
In the Pokemon Setter, someone will trade you a love disc, your love disc, for their Steelix, which is a pretty awesome trade.
Totally good
The
trade.
Steelix name is Thumper, and he's awesome. I almost used him, but I was like, I promised myself only new guys. So,
Thumper?
Yeah, Thumper. Pretty cool. And so
Can
you
you
can get
get
a
an
love
Onix?
disc on the... What?
Can you get an Onix any other way?
I believe you can somewhere.
Yeah?
I think I saw some. No, yeah, you can do it through Rock Smash.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Rock Smash.
And then there's also another guy who wants to give you a bike, like in every single Pokemon game.
He like really wants to give you the bike.
Yeah.
He's like, bikes are millions of dollars. Hey man, though, if you can get this question right, I already gave one out today, but I'll give one to you. And
Hey
it's like,
man, though.
Are there more than one colors of bikes? And then on the wall, there's like 2 bikes that are different colors.
you're like-
And so you're like, yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, great, which one do you want?
Is there a difference between the yellow one and the
No,
green one?
it's just the same.
Is it yellow and green?
Yeah.
I have the yellow one.
I don't remember what I have.
I like
Oh,
never,
I have the yellow bike. I think.
Literally the only time that I use it is for breeding on Route 7
Mm-hmm.
or Route 6 by the Pokemon Battle Chateau.
Right, yeah. I think I got the yellow one too, but it's a bike. We
It
have the roller
doesn't like
skates.
the bike has
Whatever.
never been more useless than it is in this gen.
Yeah, I think
Like
so.
it's not it's not as fast as the rollerblades or roller skates or whatever they are. Rollerblades. But
We're in the 90s.
yeah, but like the roller skates are like much more fun
Sure.
to use, and the bike is actually pretty hard to like for example, like when I was on Route 6 and I was like, you know, hatching my Pokemon, like, you know, you have to like go to the guy to get your next one, and it was
Sure.
like I was like, no, just like I couldn't like face him because the bike is
funny.
like longer than you, and so you're like trying to like
That's funny.
I don't know. It's dumb. But
So-
yeah.
There's a big hill in Silage City that apparently they do races on, which is kind of neat. I think when you first get into the city, they're like, "Their big race is over, yay!" And then, so you're walking up that hill, and you see this person at the top of the hill, and he says, "Oh, you made it! Great! Why don't you have strength? Here's a HM for you." And you're like, "Okay, great." And he's like, "Meet me at the gym. I'm the leader." And so
Classic.
you're like, "Oh, okay."
Classic like bye.
Yeah, right.
Like
So many people just like show up, do something important, and then they just like disappear, and then you have to like go to where they're usually at.
yeah.
Very funny.
Weird. But it's cool. The gym is cool.
Oh, it's a great gym. It's really, really
All
awesome.
the gyms are cool in this game.
I think this one might be my favorite.
Like I like the gyms in this game because they have secrets
Mm-hmm.
and things. But this one's kind of like a cylinder in the middle of the room.
Well, first of all, it's inside of a mountain, inside of a hollowed out mountain. Which
Okay,
is
yeah,
pretty neat.
which is crazy already, impossible already. But there's like a cylinder in the middle that has like, you know, like parts that are sticking out and parts that are like sunk
It's
into
like a
it.
big rock.
It's like a
big cylindrical
It's
rock.
like a pillar that's like clearly man-made, but it's like a rock climbing wall all the way around it, and there's like platforms that you can walk on. It's really
It's
cool.
very cool. I would love that gym.
The only thing that was annoying about it was that it like takes a long time to like
Yeah, to like.
yeah. But other than that, like I don't care. And the gym leader is really cool. His name is Grant.
Right?
I
I thought it was a girl the first time I saw him giving me the HM. I was like, oh, cool, that girl has cool hair. And then I was
Because
like,
of his-
oh, that's a dude.
just because of his weird outfit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got like beautiful like colors in his hair. and
Very
things.
very cool dude. I don't know what he's like supposed to be. Like just like a
cool rock climbing guy.
like one of those dudes who rock climb.
Maybe like like a free climber kind of guy.
like a guy who
you know?
wears like maybe like a bandana and
Yeah.
like a dust pouch.
Yeah, and it was like
Tom
cool.
Cruise at the beginning of MI2.
Sure.
But he is cool also because he has both Amara and Tyrant, right?
Yes. You know, I was a little disappointed by that. Because, I mean, I guess
you
I
just saw
thought,
him?
I was like, I guess I think that the fossil Pokemon are, like, really cool and special. And it's like, oh, you're reviving the fossil for me? I'm the only one that has this right now. And then I go to the gym and I'm like, oh, so you guys have been reviving these fossils for a while. This guy's probably had his Amara and his Tyrant for a while.
I always thought it was like more of like a situation where you got like, you know, like you go to like Disneyland or whatever and you put a penny in and
That's what fossils are to you?
that's why, because there's so much more technology in the world of Pokemon.
So it's just, like, that easy?
It takes
feel
what?
like-
It takes her what? Like a minute?
Yeah, but I feel like it's like a special thing, and it made me feel like my Amara was not as special, and I was so in love with her already that I was like, he has an Amara too. That's not fair. Because usually in the games, you don't see any fossil Pokemon until like way, way later in the game with really powerful trainers.
Right.
So they seem to be more elusive, but this made it feel like I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess anyone can have one.
Tyrant is really cool. I mean, I know you have an Amara, but Tyrant is also... Do you have a Tyrant yet?
No, not yet.
He's really cool. He's like... He looks like a T-Rex, but like... He's like a little bit like 90'd out or something. He's got like ridges all over him, you know? And he just looks neat. He's like a really well done Pokemon. He's the only rock dragon type. So, handle it.
Pretty cool.
And then you beat him, you get the next badge. It's the Cliff badge. What does it get you?
It gets you a higher level for your Pokemon to be
Like boost your training,
obey,
like 10?
to obey you at, which is cool. This generation, every gym increases the level that Pokemon will obey you at, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Because usually it's like every couple gyms they bump it by 30, 50, 70, 100, but this time it's like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. You know, it's cool.
Cool.
So
and that's it. And that's as far as we're going today. As far as through the game, because
I know it's a little bit shorter, but we do have more.
We realized that we are going
way long in these
pretty
episodes.
long on these, and so we're gonna cover another like sort of like, you know, mechanic of the game next, which is the super training.
Super training.
And then we'll move right into some questions from you guys.
So first, before we start anything, what do you think of super training? Just like as a whole, 1 out of 10, what do you give it?
Honestly, before I tried it and like. Not even after I had tried it once, I like kind of hated it. I thought it was like really convoluted and like really weird.
Okay.
But the second time that I did it, I remembered about vitamins, and then it was great.
Just like super fast, real easy.
Takes like no time.
I really like it. I think it's like a good alternative to like, you know, grinding. I mean, some people, you can still do that method, which is fine, totally fine. But I just like liked it because I was like, oh cool, I can just do this and play these little games. And it's kind of fun because I can EV train without having to be so like focused on how many Pokemon I've battled.
Yeah, you kind of feel like you're training more too. Like there's like a punching bag mechanic. Oh well,
I like the punching bag.
Let's first explain exactly what it is.
Right.
So that we gotta give a little context.
So there's a little screen on the bottom, and you can choose one of your Pokemon to
a lot of
be
people,
like the focus.
I've met a few people who literally don't know that if you just press R, like you can get to Pokemon and super training on the bottom.
So make sure you press L or R on your gamepad and you'll switch over to the super training screen where all of your Pokemon will be lined up, but your first Pokemon in your party will be like at a punching bag and have like this little, what's it called? The graph, the spider graph?
Yeah.
With about what its stats kind of are, and there's two circles.
It's stats and it's EVs.
Yeah, so there's 2 circles: the stats that it currently has, and then the whatever EVs you've invested in, and then then there's a little bar at the side. Like how far you've gone in your training.
So basically what it is you set up like different bags that correspond to different stats, and you can either like madly tap the bag, and I guess that's kind of like going like this, but also if you just want to leave it alone,
they'll just like hit it every few seconds.
Yeah, every like 10 to 15 seconds, Pokemon will hit it once, and it'll do it automatically, and that's kind of cool. But basically you break the bag. And when you do, there's like small, medium, large, and they give you points in that stat. And there's a few other bags that like help with this other thing, which is like a mini game, which also gives you like also gives you EVs in the stats.
And I think that's where like the meat of super training was. That's what was advertised about super training were these mini games that you can do, and you can do it. There's 3 levels of each, like beginner, intermediate, and advanced, and they each give you a certain amount of EVs. The maximum is 12. And they're kind of cool. There's one for each statistic, and you basically like beat up a balloon by shooting things at it. It's like
a weird mechanic. It feels kind of like if you played like Liberation Maiden for the 3DS, or you played
Is it like that new Icarus game?
Yeah, Kid Icarus. It's a little bit like Kid Icarus as well, and you know, it's a weird game, but like you get it down pretty quick.
I found it really difficult, actually, because I'm left-handed, and so I'm used to using the stylus with my left hand, and I had to switch to the right hand and use the control stick to move my character around while also shooting with my right hand.
So how are you doing right now?
I'm doing fine now. I got used to it like pretty quick, but at first it was very disorienting, so I do have to dock it a couple points for not being friendly to left-handers.
That's true. But so you get points by punching the bags. You get points for winning the minigame, but you also win bags for playing the minigame.
When you complete a minigame, you get a bag, and it can be a stat bag. It can help you out in the next time that you play a minigame. There's these things called Team Flare bags. I don't know exactly. What do those do?
They make the next bag take half the time.
Yeah, or something like that. So, and then there's these bags that are extremely useful called reset bags.
These are great because it used to be so hard to get EVs off your Pokemon if you want to have if you have a natured Pokemon and you don't want to go through the trouble of like rebreeding and doing everything. It's just like one bag,
boom,
all gone.
It takes a long time, so you really have to like spam that button, but once you get it, all your EVs are erased and you can start from scratch, which is excellent.
You had to like feed it like a lot of berries. You had to grow the berries. It was really annoying before, but now it's great. But what's the other thing that I wanted to say about super training?
The secret advanced levels when you're fully trained.
No, I don't care about that.
Well, I'll talk about that while you think. There's these, once your Pokemon is fully EV trained, you unlock secret levels, and in those secret levels you can earn prizes, and a lot of those prizes are evolution stones. And so if you're having a hard time finding evolution stones in your game, if you EV train one of your Pokemon all the way and then need to get a stone, just do those secret training things. And you have to do pretty well at them, but you can do it. Like I needed a dusk stone for my Doublade.
They're legitimately they're like legitimate challenges. Like the actual like training ones are baby stuff after like your third time. But yeah, I guess I mean that's it. I mean you gain EVs at a pretty fast rate. Like you break a bag, you know, typically what I do is I play the game like 3 or 4 times, then I break like 3 or 4 bags. So you're constantly getting, and that would be like, let's say we did 4 things in 4 bags, 4 games in 4 bags. That's 12 per game and 12 per bag if you get large bags. So that's already 8 times 12. What's that? 96. Yeah, and so you're getting these fast. Like you can only have 252 EV points in a stat. You get 12 at a time. And if you give them vitamins before, I mean, it costs about $100,000 to give them the vitamins. But you can actually buy the vitamins in Dendemil or Anastar.
I'm not sure.
There is a town where in the Pokemon Center you can buy the vitamins. And so you get better. Your Pokemon gets better at doing the game the more stats he has. So I highly recommend
doing the vitamins first.
Doing the vitamins because because it will literally be like too hard for you otherwise.
Yeah, the first couple times is
it's really not fun to like gain 4 at a time.
Right.
But
Oh, and the last thing I think I wanted to say about this the super training was it's nice because you don't really have to keep track of your EVs and how many you have anymore, because once you hit the maximum number of EVs that you can get in that stat, you can hit the bag and you can break the bag, but it'll say you gain 0. So like
literally once you have it, you can't put up another bag for that stat.
Great. Well,
they'll just be like, nope.
Nice and easy.
They'll be like, nope. And then when you hit all, they give you a little.
Yeah, they give you a little like
a little guy.
a little sprite.
Yeah, little guy at the top. But so that's super training. I feel pretty positive about it. I think it's gonna open like the competitive.
I like it because it makes it easy for people that want to get into competitive battling, but like EV training can be so daunting your first couple times trying it. So I think this is a great alternative.
Yeah, we're gonna kind of probably do an episode on that on the Dex a little bit later.
Sure.
But that is that for now. So let's move on to questions. Before the sun goes down.
Yeah, it seems like it's going.
Yes, as it is getting a little bit darker. So bear with us. So the first question comes from Cubone King, who says, "I have a question for each of you guys. So for Alex, since the very beginning when you started playing Pokemon, were you focused on battles and competitive play, or did you just get into it recently?" I
think it's time to talk to them about Gen 4, Alex.
Yeah. Gen 4, I used to play the games just for fun, and I'd battle my friends, and like training the Pokemon to level 100 was like the closest that I would ever get to, trying to train it competitively at all. And, a lot of the times, like, my Blastoise from playing through the game would have, like, Hydro Pump and, like,
just the strong attack.
Hydro Pump and Bubble Beam and, like 2 water attacks for no reason. But then when Diamond and Pearl came out, it was the first one that I had, like, in college. So I was like a lot of the time just in my room by myself on the internet, and that's when I first started like reading about competitive battling and like really getting into it. And it got to the point where I almost failed out of school because I was just training up guys. I had like 35 EV trained Pokemon, and it was really fun.
I don't regret it.
But it was a little depressing. But I got really into it in Gen 4, and I kind of skipped Gen 5 competitively, like in the games. I didn't really like train up a lot of like guys in Gen 5.
I did.
But in Gen 6, I'm already like
he's like scheming. He's like,
yeah, I'm already like working
eyes are
on
like
stuff.
thousands of years away.
Yeah, I'm thinking far ahead. I got like 2 teams in mind that I want to try out, and I've been playing a lot of Showdown. So yeah, and then for Kels, continuing the question, would you call yourself a gamer girl, or are you more a casual game player?
Interesting question. I love video games, and I've loved them for a really long time. I don't currently have a whole lot of time to play it, but gamer girl is a weird term for me because I'm just.
Why not just a gamer?
I'm just like a gamer. I play games, like I take my 3DS with me and play games on my breaks at work, and people look at me and like, oh, are you playing Nintendo? And I'm like, but games, especially Pokemon games, are for everyone. Of course, I'm mostly into the Pokemon games, but there's tons of other series that I love. I love the Fallout series.
She still collects bottle caps in real life.
I do. I love the Fallout series. I love the Kingdom Hearts series. And I'll try anything, any game.
You're playing through Ni no Kuni right now, right?
Yeah, Ni no Kuni is cool. If there is ever like a real big expansive Pokemon RPG, the Ni no Kuni battle system is great for Pokemon.
I remember
it's
one
very
night
translatable.
Yeah. I remember one night we played through. We went and bought Batman together.
Right.
And like traded it off.
Arkham Asylum. I almost completed it. I stopped because I think I was like,
Arkham
back
City.
in school.
City.
Arkham City. I almost completed. So I love games and I play them a lot. And I think I'm a gamer just as much as all you are.
Can I expand on his question a little bit?
Sure, I guess.
Do you find it novel that you're a girl who plays video games?
No, I don't think I'm special or anything.
No, not like do you think it's special? Like, do you like identify with the fact that you're like a girl who plays video games? Like, do you feel like it's like you against the world?
No.
Do you experience
really.
like a lot of sexism? Do people ask you like all the time, like, do you know how to play this?
No. The only time I've ever been asked questions like that is actually about Pokemon, and I shut them down pretty fast.
Great.
That's pretty easy to shut down because I did have somebody ask me one time. They like asked me what games I liked, and I was like, oh, I'm really into Pokemon. And they were like, oh, what's your favorite Pokemon and why? And I was like, I explained like my battle strategy for my Sableye, and they're like, oh, okay, you're way into this. And then they just talk to me like a normal human. So I mean, it's best to kind of diffuse. I just like try to diffuse the fact when people are like, okay, now this is how you play it, and I'll be like, I got this, don't worry. So, I mean, it's not really too much of an issue for me. I know it's a huge problem for some girl gamers,
especially like as far as I know.
But also, I'm a loner when I play video games. I don't do a lot of online stuff unless it's Pokemon.
People face a lot more. I feel like, I mean, there's the whole internet who hates girls and gay people and all sorts of things, but in the industry, like a lot of people that I've heard talk about like developers and publishers being very patronizing to them about like, when they're demoing a game and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm here because I'm working in the industry.
Right. I don't know. You know what I think is great though? The cool thing I like about Pokemon is that there is, I mean, a lot of games get criticized because they're like, oh, all the girls in the games have huge breasts and they're very sexualized. The girls in Pokemon, stop. The girls in Pokemon are just like, everyone's like a normal dude. There's lots of girls in the game. There's like an equal gender ratio. There's like as many girls as there are boys. There's like girls that champions. There are girl champions, guy champions, gym leaders, and there's nobody ever like talks about it because like it's like just like a thing. Yeah. And there's no, so I think that is a really cool thing that Pokemon does that I don't see in a whole lot of video games.
Yeah, it's like Star Trek.
Yeah.
It's just like girls and boys.
Yeah. I got the next one.
Okay, take it.
Okay, Driving H001 says, what are your favorite Pokemon in each generation? And actually, we got a lot of people asking the same question. So
well, actually, I don't know if you made the typo or he did, but it just says what your favorite Pokemon in each generation.
Come on, Grammar Man.
Grammar Man. So take it away.
Gosh. Okay. Well, Gen 1, probably Dragonair. Right?
Dragonair?
Dragonair?
Yeah.
Dragonair or Vaporeon, maybe.
Mine's Jolteon for sure. For sure.
Gen 2, Ampharos.
Ampharos?
Love it.
Lugia.
So cute. Lugia is awesome.
Lugia is
as well.
my Gen 2 favorite.
Gen 3, I probably like definitely like Sableye best. But Flygon is also a huge favorite of mine.
Metagross. Metagross, my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon.
Gen 4, Gastrodon, West Sea, the pink one.
The pink one.
Currently my favorite Pokemon of all time. But I also really, really love Togekiss, and so that's a hard call for that one.
For me, Gen 4 gotta be Empoleon. He was great. He had this really good substitute Petaia strategy. He looks cool. He's got really good typing. He's my boy. I love him.
Gen 5, Whimsicott.
Whimsicott. I like Golurk, and I like Golurk. He's a golem, right?
Yeah.
I like Golurk, and I like Darmanitan.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Like Shofu
Dope
does.
Pokemon.
Shofu really likes Darmanitan, I believe.
And then Gen 6,
Gotta be Chestnut.
Aurorus.
Chestnut is like in my top Pokemon. I had no idea what he looked like when I evolved him, and I was like, oh.
And Aurorus has solidified her spot as my favorite of all time, almost.
Over Gastrodon?
They're all my favorites of all time, but Gen 6 by far, Aurorus.
Hilarious.
Beautiful Pokemon, like my best friend. I Pokemon Ami'd Aurorus.
You had that.
At the maximum.
You had like the real experience.
Yeah, I had a crazy experience with my Aurorus when I was just like, you're looking at me, you're listening to me, I love you.
So fun.
Crazy. But that's the long and short of it.
Mark Lawrence asked, we kind of already answered this, but Mark
Oh,
Lawrence.
I just put 2 down. Mark Lawrence also asked the same question.
He asked, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Yeah. So.
Mine of all time is still probably Jolteon.
And mine fluctuates. Currently, it's Gastrodon West Sea.
Okay. Moving on to Pikmin Rock 1. If you were to design a Pokemon, what would its type be?
Ooh. Well, we were joking a couple nights ago about a Pokemon that was someone asked me, they're like, okay, there's a Pokemon with knives on its feet. What's its name? And I was like, okay, Roostab. And I was like, and the girl is Shivkin.
Shivkin? Like a cockfighting Pokemon?
Like Shivkin and Roostab. Yeah. They're like, yeah, they've got like knives on their feet, probably steel type and something else. But,
I was gonna design a Pokemon. I would want it to be Ghost Normal.
Oh.
And it would look like...
Just like a white sheet.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's going to look like
ghost.
A Halloween costume
That's
ghost.
so cute. I would love that.
And his name should be Booger.
Booger?
Booger. It's cute as hell. Booger.
All right.
Booger.
But you know Booger is just spelled Booger. There was also a time, I think way long ago, when I was into Pokemon, I think in like 8th grade or something like that, where I drew this Pokemon that was like a fox with scythe hands that like only had front feet, and it kind of like levitated and was like cool. And I think it was probably a bug fire.
Bug
type.
Fire?
Yeah.
That's pretty
like
cool.
Like a Volcarona thing, but it was like a fox with like these scythe hands that were like bug praying mantis claws, and then its tail, instead of having feet, it just like tail just like.
And what about your fake Zygarde?
What is that? I don't remember what you said.
You had like a dream where the third legendary.
Oh yeah, I had a dream where the third legendary was like a underwater sea serpent that kind of looked like a catfish and a lion mixed together, and it was like it almost looked like a Ludroth, a royal Ludroth from MHCU, which is another game I like to play.
Just say goodbye to your life when you play Monster Hunter. It's
fun.
So engrossing and it's so tedious, but it's so good.
All right, another one.
Corn Nap.
I want to read this.
Okay.
Corn Nap 1 asks, okay, what is your favorite YouTube channel? Okay. I liked okay at first. That was fun. Okay, what is your favorite YouTube channel?
Ooh, I like Game Theory.
That's my favorite. I'm gonna say that.
I like game theory a lot, and I really like. I mean, I'm avoiding saying people who I'm like I'm not gonna say like that one video gamer, or Super Beard Bros or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm
like channels that you're on and you guessed on.
Yeah.
But I love game theory. I showed it to like all my family, and like when I watched it, I was like, that's why I'm doing the Dex, is to show people.
I also think that Pro Jared is a freaking champ. That guy just makes really good videos. He just like knows how to do his thing.
And Satchel does some great stuff too.
Satchel,
his videos are beautiful.
Yeah, Satchbag.
Satchbag
says his Twitter. Is it just Satchbag?
Find him somehow.
Satchbag. I'll put it up in the thing, in the show notes. He's just taking video game criticism to another level of
Very cool.
of seriousness, let's say, and that's great. And he's
Do you see little D?
He's done.
Just like totally
He's
sleeping
done.
right on the blanket this
He's
whole
done.
time, right between us.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that just made me laugh.
Yeah, Satchel visually he's just incredible as well. His channel looks so good.
I can't wait. I can't wait to rewatch this and watch the cat the whole time
Yeah.
and see what he's been doing behind us.
Yeah. But yeah, those are the ones. Who else was I gonna say? I don't remember. Sorry, whoever you are.
New question. Next question.
New question.
New question. From Meowth900. Yo, Meowth, what's up?
Hey, Meowth.
Do you guys have any of those sparkly shiny Pokemon in X or Y?
Well, I don't know much, but I'm a simple guy from a country town, and I'm just wondering if y'all had some of them sparkly shiny Pokemons. He just sounded so humble.
you sound crazy.
I just picture him having like a straw hat, like almost like Tennessee Ernie Ford and I Love Lucy, and he takes it off and he's got like a vest on.
All right, cool, man.
Can I see him? I don't know.
I got some shinies.
Yeah, I got like 5.
I actually have 2 Octillery because I was changing.
Is that it?
In X and Y, but I also have other shinies, which I guess I'll talk about. My first shiny I ever got was a Zubat, which I evolved into Crobat, which is a cool Pokemon. I think it's on my Crystal version, so it's way back.
You can still get it though.
In the time. Yeah, I know I could, but whatever. I also have a shiny Ekans, a shiny Doduo, and the shiny Ekans is cool because I bought it from the Game Corner, and it was shiny, and I was like,
whoa.
And I actually didn't even know. I was just trying to complete my Pokedex, and so I like deposited him. And I came back later, and I was like, oh, this is shiny. It's green.
Whoa, that's cool.
And then my favorite shiny I have is a shiny Sneasel, which I caught in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, who I love.
That's great.
And then so I caught a shiny Octillery in X and Y using fish chaining, which is a thing that we'll go over probably a little bit later on.
He's gold, by the way.
Yeah, he's gold. He's a golden Octillery. And so I caught him, and I was like, awesome. And then later on, I was like, it's so much easier to fish chain with the super rod than the good rod. And Alex is like, no, it's not. I was like, yes, it is. Watch. And I got a shiny Octillery again, which I wasn't trying for. I was trying for a Lantern. But
she's still incorrect, though. Just
correct.
so we know.
Or I'm just a good fisher.
I randomly caught a shiny Panpour in the forest, in the Viridian Forest, whatever that forest
Saniline
is.
Forest.
Yeah. It is the Viridian Forest. And then I caught, I did a lot of fish chaining, and I got a Barboach, which is awesome because it evolves into a shiny Whiscash, which is a really cool Pokemon.
So cool.
I have a shiny Camerupt, which is black, which is really cool.
Ooh, neat.
Yeah, I have a shiny Clauncher, which is like bright red, like a shrimp, like a cooked shrimp. He looks really cool. And I have one more. It is a shiny Poliwhirl, and he is not the most exciting shiny ever because he's just like a slightly lighter color blue.
Well, are you gonna go Politoed or Poliwrath?
Probably. Well, I'm not sure, but like both of them are cool. Politoed is like blue and purpley, and then Poliwrath is like green.
Yeah, so they're both neat.
They kind of like almost like switch colors.
But yeah, I think the shiny rate has gone up definitely in X and Y. Definitively, I think we can all say that. But we just don't know exactly what it is.
There's no way it didn't. I caught the Camerupt in a Friend Safari, so
cool.
That's a thing. I think that people have been saying
that the encounter rate.
Not to spoil what a Friend Safari is, but
it's a thing.
It's a thing, and if you know what it is, I think that there are more shinies there.
Cool.
Last question is Hypnos Project HQ asks, Kels, what do you think about Alex's beard?
I'm so into beards, guys.
You're so into beards? You love this beard?
I love...
You think it's good?
Yeah, it's great. You have one of the best beards that I know. Another person who has a great beard is Tyler Phillips.
Tyler Phillips from Bath Boys Comedy.
You have a great beard, though. I am way into beards. I get sad when Alex shaves his beard.
She's like legitimately on Team Beardman. Like
I love it.
She loves beards.
I am really, really just excited about beards. I think it's very... A man that can grow a good beard deserves a lot of respect. So, post your beards.
Post your beards. That's not a bad word towards people who can't grow beards.
No, of course not. But,
it's just...
But I appreciate a good beard.
Beards are good.
Yeah.
So on that note, that's about all the time we have for today. We will be back next week with another one of these. I'm going to try and get this up on time. We'll see if I did a good job because we have a wedding to go to tomorrow.
Woo.
But
It's not us.
we're not getting married tomorrow. Yeah, that's it. I'm Alex.
I'm Pokekill.
We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Bye.